Welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show. Guess what? We are in the third week of the new year. So welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show. I'm always so happy. I'm so glad, 3 weeks into 2024. Welcome back. I am so excited today because our show is going to be amazing. KISS, keeping it simple and strong. But before I go into that, I want to just leave you with a few things as we talked earlier on the first show of the New Year's. Happy New Year's, the first show. We talked about balance, and balance is going to be so important in keeping it simple and strong. And these are a few little things I want to keep you put on write it down. You're motivational. Why are you motivated? Keep yourself motivated and have good reasons for why you're motivated. Why are you doing this? And the only way you're going to do that is know how your goals are looking for that year. Okay? Be competitive. Okay? Be ready. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with healthy competition. Healthy. Because why it's going to be healthy? Because you're going to keep it balanced. Your reputation is everything in this industry, in the fashion, entertainment, corporate, politics, where everything you do, your reputation, your behavior said, you don't have to open your mouth. Whether it's a truth or lies, your behavior says what it is. So that's so important, your reputation. Be excited about your choices, your goals. Be excited about it. Be accountable. Be accountable to your family, your friends, your agencies, your community. And social support, and always network. And we're going to have a good show today. I'm excited about this one. When the writer wrote this show, I said, KISS. Then I said, keep it simple and strong. So we are in the new year again. We're in the third week of the new year. We always say you want to be the best you can. In order for you to be the best you can, you have to be intentional. And when you're intentional about your choices, your actions, and your associations, in addition to a lot of that, guess what? You must have the proper attitude. Everything. So our word for 2024 again is what? Balance. To help you achieve your 2024 goals of being the best model or talent, the best talent that you can be, the best intern for Maya, the best part of the Maya team, and whatever you see yourself at this year, we're going to start with the very basics. Number one thing we're going to talk about is your health, because without that, all of the other things, we struggle. Where are you on your health journey? Do you have a health journal? For you to have the energy and stamina to perform well and look your best, proper health and wellness routine is necessary. In this business, you have to have it. You have to be healthy because the camera, your voice projects who you are inside. Whether you are intentional about your health and wellness or not, you are on a health wellness journey, whether it's good or bad. So rather than tell you how to eat and how much rest you should get or how many steps and laps and miles you should include in your day, today we'll discuss the value of just simple exercise. Not strenuous or long exercise, but simple, effective, short movements that make you feel fit, healthy, and mentally sharp. So, after our commercial, we're going to come back with our host. So you will join us to discuss KISS to your health and wellness in the new year's. KISS meaning keep it simple and strong. We're going to go back on our commercial break and we'll be right back.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show.
and welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's red. It's red.
Okay, how you doing? I had a technical difficulty for a minute there. Hey, welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show. You heard that introduction. As we are going to be talking about KISS, keeping it simple and strong for this year. So, we're going to talk about the whole health and wellness. Welcome. Hey, Mia.
Hi.
What's up? We're in the third week of 2024.
Can't believe it. It's gone by quick.
Very quick on the Marlene Cox Show on WBGR TV. Hey, Janet, what's up? How you been? Awesome. In the third week of the year, I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
It's
Three in.
3 in, yes.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started today. I really like this segment because we're going to talk about getting healthy, and we're going to focus almost exclusively on food or exercise. We know that in order to be healthy and perform at your best, there must be a balance in the factor that impacts your health. And we'll call those factors FEM. Food, environment, and movement. And before we go on, I want to talk a little bit about food, because sometimes when we talk about food, we all know the standards. You go buy the magazine in the store and it gives you all the recipes and the food. But I want to look at food a little different. What are the factors of food that's familiar to us? How does food, the main food, 5 things that influence us in our food, the beliefs of knowledge about food, and some of those things that we have that determines our attitude towards food. Jan, I was just doing some research. Let's dig into this. This is so good because we normally just say, get this recipe, cut this out, don't do this, don't. But let's take it from another perspective in 2024. And if you would just share the first 2 with us, and we'll talk about on food that we should talk about right here.
We need to be really concerned about not making it where our bodies are always hungry all the time, and that we're watching our appetite. You don't have to eat on schedule at set times all the time, but you do have to eat when your body needs it. You have to realize what your tastes are, and so that you don't prepare a meal that you really are not interested in eating. And you also have to look at the cost of it and versus your income. We can't afford to eat filet every day, but we can change it up and make sure that we have some seafood and we have protein, different types of proteins in our food of the day. And, carry your banana or your apple with you so that you don't necessarily have to eat a set meal, but somehow figure out what you have to consume during your day.
So I think that's good because normally, like I said, we always concentrate just on the food, the menu. And I think those 2 topics that Janet shared with us, such a hunger, appetite, and taste, and it's so amazing. And we're going to dig into this because it's a difference between hunger and appetite.
Correct.
Some people don't have food, and we're going to talk about that when we talk about these the food, the environment, and the movement. And it's very important. We take this from a different point of view, okay? And then the economic determines the cost and the income of your food, and unfortunately, it says where you live.
Yep.
If you grocery stores are different in other places, same name but different
Food desert.
Yes. So those are a couple of things, and then Mia's going to share with us 2 more areas about attitude and food. What are those?
We have the physical determinants such as access, education, skills, and time, which is education of what is healthy, how to prepare a good meal.
Right.
Said
to get the best vitamins out of your food.
Yeah. Exactly.
It could be steaming versus frying versus making it where you're eating fresh salmon.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, and also the cost of buying good food, and then you have a lot of people that don't live around. In the urban areas, the cities don't have access to really good food. You have maybe the little corner store where they're buying food that maybe food that's not.
Oh, you have to have it flown in. You're in Colorado, and you've got it. Seafood's really expensive.
And I was just out of the country, and it's not so much having the filet. It's the simple the freshest, simple ingredients is knowing how to prepare with different spices. You know, I had a potato and leek soup with some fresh bread, a great salad, and some cheese and crackers. It was a magnificent meal, and it was filling.
Yeah, it was
and that's
filling.
something you can make a big pot of, and you can maybe eat off of for a few days and change it up. It's just knowing how to be creative, you know. And if you buy in bulk, if you have to buy in bulk, then portion it out and freeze half of it.
Yeah.
You know, prepare your meals so that you're just not reaching for junk or too much sugars and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and you
Can
know,
I just have I had one little thing I want to interject right there when you said buy in bulk and different things. I remember the leaner years when my younger days when I'm starting my family and all that. I did that. We bought in bulk, and I remember I didn't buy French fries. I bought potatoes and sliced them. So for dinner they were French fries. For breakfast we had fried onions and potatoes. I mean, you have to be creative that way and buying things and bought our meat in bulk. Do they have meat markets anymore?
Well,
something
you just said that was so, not a trigger, but just so telling is that we have so much processed food. And so you said you would have the potato, you would make the French fries, and in the morning maybe it was a hash brown. I mean, okay, we're not gonna. This is get it out there. Fast food, processed food is here to stay.
Yes.
So we have to think of ways to maybe interject. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe today we'll have fast food. Okay. Well, they have a full menu. Maybe you have a salad instead of the cheeseburger and French fries. Mix it up, and then that gets into the movement.
Yes.
To make sure you're moving your body to burn this off. I mean, this country, I think we have the highest number of obesity and diabetes.
Yes.
And it's because
heart problems, all of that.
Of the food, the processed foods.
Well, you said something, and Janet, we talked about this, and I know about you being a military brat. Sorry, but you were. Traveling in different parts of the country or out of the country. I noticed when we were over in Spain, I ate everything I wanted. Olive oil, I love it. Fresh butter, bread, pastas, most rice because we're in Spain. Didn't gain a pound.
Well, because we walked.
But
how many miles a day did we walk? But it's different walking. Yeah,
I do on a regular. Now, since I've been back, I got a little lazy. On a regular, I do 10 to 15,000 steps a day. That includes my exercise in with those steps, and I can do just 2 carbs a day, and it will mess up my whole. Keeping my weight balance. Over there, I did the same thing, but everything was so fresh. I mean, even when we went and got a piece of fried chicken from Kentucky Fried in Spain, was nothing like
it was Popeyes. Actually,
I mean, Popeyes.
And it was very good.
Oh, it was so good. We were like, everything was so fresh, and like Mia said, you have to mix it up. Fast food is here to stay. You're going to do that DoorDash, and you're going to go to Mickey Row and all those things, and you're going to do all of those things, but you got to balance it out, Janet. Like you said, meal planning, you brought that in.
Meal planning, organizing your pantry, organizing your freezer. You can prepare some of the foods ahead of time. Chop up an onion, stick it in the freezer. Things like that, so that you have it ready made when you get home from work, and you're able to, or you can do meal planning and cook everything on a Sunday and plan your week out. Put the oatmeal in the bowl and measure out your ingredients ahead of time. That way you just have to grab a Ziploc baggie.
Yeah. You just said something that made sense with both of you said. At least one healthy meal a day. At least.
Yes.
At least. And on the weekends, you have more time to prep and do things. Just at least one
We're not saying not to
eat it.
To eat or have some of those foods, because we are. But you got to make up for it. You have to, drink your water and have the fresh vegetables, roasted vegetables, and your proteins, like Jana was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, even if, if you're a vegan, there's good proteins you can have as well.
But you know what we did when we were growing up, but you weren't in my generation, maybe in Janet's, there's 3 different generations here. And one thing that I know our parents always did, especially in the wintertime, they always cooked beans, one of the most healthy things you can eat. And a pot of white beans or some black beans.
Some chilies.
Some kidney beans.
Sauces.
And all of that, and have that. And put some of those.
That sounds good, chili.
Nice
thing of
chili.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. And put some of those natural herbs and things, and you can eat off of that in a week. just make a big pot and eat off of it for a week.
One of my favorite things to cook at home is I like to make like meals, like Mediterranean meals, like Afghan food. Like get some thighs and it's just the simplest things. It's the spices and just add it and make a nice thing of rice, and we'll have a nice little salad with it, or just like I said, the lentils or the beans, the potato soup, and it's just.
Be prepared. Even snow's coming and with here in January and stuff. Ends up put a protein bar in your car. Put a blanket in there. Be prepared. Prepare yourself if you were to get stuck for a couple hours that you would have a bottle of water or whatever. The same thing with your pantry and your refrigerator at home. Make sure you have the staples that you need during the winter so that if you can't run to the store, you have the dry milk so you can make milk, or different things like that you have available.
You said a beautiful thing. If you can't run to the store. But the secret to that, when we look down on our research about food, it says economics, cost and income determines a lot of how you spend your money. And a lot of people say, groceries is higher, this is that. But if you buy a 10-pound bag of rice or potatoes, that's going to last 2 or 3 months or 2 months, depending on the size of your family.
Right.
Some beans and some
And
things
I think,
like
Jan
that.
is saying, said, meal planning,
Oh, I got to do that.
Planning it out. You can, have a good meal and then also keep that on the cost. You're not wasting.
Yeah.
Right.
And have your cheap meal a week. Go to wherever you go, your fast food or go out to dinner. Those things. We're not saying that. I love that you brought that up. That we're not saying that you can't have those things, but you have to incorporate all of these things into your food, and so that's important. But what I want to go into on this food thing, and we're getting ready. I got maybe a second here. Minute? That I wanted to talk about what are 4 main influences of food systems. And because we ain't talking about just diet, we talking about what systems. We just gave you your attitude. And a food system operate within the influence of the social, political, economic, technology, environment, content. It also requires human resources that provide labor, research, and education. Education, you can't escape it. You talked earlier about technology and dressing.
Yeah.
So all of this plays into food and how we buy it. Do you want what's that thing they say they doing now? They growing hamburgers in the lab, and I don't want that.
I don't want that.
So,
I do not want that.
I do not. Now, if I'm out in the desert and I have no choice, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about everyday life. I don't want that.
Yeah.
So you have to be educated on what you put in your body.
Know the source of your food. So, like for instance, if you want some fresh vegetables, go to your local market. Know what's available. Check to make sure it hasn't been frozen first. Such as your meats and things that you buy at your local store. Reach out to your butcher. He can make it affordable for you. Support your local butcher.
But you know what? That's a good point. Butcher, I'm being over here by that coordinates our commercials. Butcher, come back with that. Okay. We're going to get ready and do what?
We're going to go out on a commercial break, take some notes, go run to the restroom, whatever you need to do. We'll see you when we come right back on the Marlene Cox Show.
Okay, let's talk about that.
You are watching the Marlene Cox Show.
Rita by Wallace and Posey.
Seize the moment with Rita. Inhale the intimacy. Shop now.
go to our website at wallaceposey.com.
You are watching the Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you. And we're back. You are watching the Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show, WBGR TV. And we ended on a point last time. Mia was sharing some things with us on food, but we're going to wrap up on food and we're going to go on environment. But before we wrap that up on food, Janet, there was a good point you brought up about the butcher shop. Let's talk a few minutes a couple of seconds on that and
Google your local butcher shop in your area and support your local people, and you'll be able to get great beef and chicken and poultry, and you'll have fresh butter and creams and dairy, and you'll know your source of where things are coming from, and support your local farms that in the summers when they have their fresh vegetables and where you can go pick your own corn. Get to know your food groups. It's something that's so important to your body and your health. You don't have to have all the pesticides or any of that. But I'm not saying that you can't buy in bulk. You can buy in bulk, like for your rice and for your different items that you have in your pantry, such as your bakery goods and your flours and things. But definitely work with your local butcher. He will help you, whether it's in a large chain store or at your local butcher, in regard to finding the sources of food for you.
Yeah, that's good. I think we need to get back to the butcher shop. You have anything before we go into environment on that?
No, that was great.
I think that was good. So we're taking it from a little different point of view. So let's talk a little bit about the environment, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the environment because I think that's so important. And Mia's going to lead us into what are some of the environmental factors that affect our health. Now, we already talked about the food and what we need to do. Now, let's talk about our environment that affects our health.
Yes. It's not like it was back in the day. We have so many different toxins in the air that's polluting the air, from diesel to all kinds of things. And so it's really important. And it's so funny. I just read listened to a story from a physician that was talking about this is one of the most important things as well as your environment and making sure where you work and where you live, that the air is clean. That means using, some sort of apparatus that cleans out the air. Like for me, I love my Dyson Air Pure Clear cleaner that cleans the air, making sure that pollutants and allergens are in the air, and your water, making sure your water is clean, filtered and clean.
Out. But
so many different. This is the air pollution, the environmental chemicals now today, and they're going to get worse. As technology and all of those things, they're just going to be more and more.
Yeah, so if you learned about the food.
Right.
Now, if you don't take care of the environment, you might as well go ahead and eat bad food.
And then just to piggyback, too, off of what Janet was saying in terms of know where your food is coming from, because they use so many pesticides and things to keep the food on the shelf longer. And so that's, it's hard. It's kind of hard sometimes, especially in the urban areas, to escape that, because when you talk about getting organic foods, it's so much more expensive. Why is it so expensive to get
The better stuff.
the better things? I mean,
That's a note to
what
myself.
is up with that? It shouldn't be that way. Food shouldn't be that. It should, everyone should have access to good, nutritious food that it's free of pesticides and all of those things.
Yeah, and another thing too, Janet, because always soak. I remember my mom used to soak food in water or some baking soda or salt to kind of get some of them pesticides out. Because, like Lemia said, you're not going to escape it depending on where you live. You're not going to, like when we're in an environment where we live, we go to the farmers and they have free range, this and that and the other. But some people are not going to have this, so you got to know how to. And if you're eating out of a can, well, try not to, but if you do, wash that stuff off and don't use the juices that are in there. So you have to come in and think about those little things that you can pick up on to keep your environment, because fortunately, remember we were saying about food, all depends on your economic standing, where you live, neighborhoods, grocery stores. So you might have to be your best advocate. Make sure you wash stuff off,
Right.
and clean it really good, and before you eliminate as much of it as you possibly can.
And your cooking area, clean your sink in your kitchen. Do things that make it where your food doesn't become contaminated. You use a different cutting board for your poultry versus your meat, things like that.
Yeah.
So those are so good. Anything else you want to talk to us about, being on that?
I want to hit back down the list here to infrastructure issues.
Where's that at? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
That too, the bridges and all those things that are starting to crumble. And you have a lot of, even like you go into some of the coal miners going into these mines too. That's part of the infrastructure. I was just watching a story of coal miners, of the younger guys the younger coal miners are getting the black lung younger because of how the environment is and how everything's breaking down our infrastructure. It's just.
But look, thank God, whether you agree or disagree, this is the first time in over 100 years in this country that we finally got somebody who put something out there to change our infrastructure.
I've been seeing a lot of the roads being.
Have you seen them out on the roads?
Yes.
They're going down there, they're digging up all those old pipes in these old cities and putting better pipes down there for water flow and storage. Your waste.
Because they're collapsing, so they need replacing.
But we haven't did it in 100 years, and thank God we got this gentleman in there who's making sure these things are happening for us, because that affects our babies. Every time you turn around, somebody's children have different things, born with so many different things. Mothers, I've never seen so many young people so hard to get pregnant. They have to do so many things just to have a baby, and all of that's due to the environment.
It's due to the environment and the stress and all those different things, that we're dealing with that we didn't have to
add to the infrastructure, Janet?
We're currently rebuilding a lot of our infrastructure here in the metropolitan area, getting rid of the terracotta piping and things, and making it where basically we're not having so many breaks in the mains and things. But I want everyone to be aware that when you're driving around construction sites, you feel like, oh gosh, there they are again. Remember, they're there to help you, and look out for our construction workers when you're driving on the roads and things. We are all supportive of our community, and as you're going and coming, just make sure that they're there to help us too.
Yeah, and look at this infrastructure that's going on in this country.
Yes.
Guess what? More people are back to work than ever.
Yes.
People are going back to work, so don't hurt them out on the road. Just like Janet said, don't be speeding when they tell you to do 60. Slow down. Got people work on there, and if the police officer is pulled someone over, move over into the other lane if you can safely. So all of those things are here to protect
It's
us.
now talking about that. It's not over with. If the police are, if you see someone that's pulled over, if you can merge over to the next lane, do so. If you can.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Slow down.
And it is illegal in Maryland to pass on the right. So don't ever
People do that?
Yeah, there's been a lot of accidents here recently with people passing on the right hand side instead of going around. So be careful. You know your local laws.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and and got all these people finally going back to work. Don't hurt them. They need the money for their families. So that's good. And anything else before we?
No, nothing
I
else
think
to
we
add on
are.
that.
Yeah, and I had some things over here I wanted Janet to share with us. And we come down here and talk about the some of the things that factor
That influence our health.
That influence our health. And see, these are your environment. If your food, you're doing all the right things the best you can with your food, but you're not paying attention to the environment and how to protect yourself the best you can in your environment, then what do we have? These things influence our health.
Yeah, we definitely want to look into the different health statuses that there are. It could be hereditary. It could be the quality of the environment. Mm-hmm. It could be random events that have happened in your area. As unfortunately, we had 9/11 and we had a lot of ash and things. There could be healthcare issues in your area, such as there could be a mini breakout of the flu or things like that. Just be aware of the behaviors that you choose. I mean, come on, don't stay out all night and then go out and have breakfast and, oh gosh, now it's 3 a.m. and you have to get up at 6 a.m. Trust me, I've been there. And
hold up on that
behaviors.
behavior. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to, have fun, but don't get drunk every night.
Yeah.
Don't do that stuff every day. I mean, well, medical people say they have to do it. But anyway, you have to do everything in balance.
Yes.
Balance.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Be aware of that, and also in the quality of your relationships that you build. Your friends in your bubble and your network environment.
That is so important.
You know what? If you allow trash in, trash goes out. So you not to be the trash. Okay. So, I just had to put it there.
No, people don't realize that you did all the food right.
Yeah.
You're working on the environment, and then you bring this negative relationships into your life.
Yes.
That pulls on your health.
It certainly
does.
does. It certainly
Yes.
does. And, it certainly pulls on your health. That's what Janet was saying. You have to, keep your circle balanced and,
great decisions.
Yes.
Make some, everything that you do has an action and a reaction.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
make sure that, if you're giving up 5 hours of your time to something that is not going to be important in your life 10 years from now, that was a big investment. Mm-hmm. So and make sure that you definitely, everything that you do, journal every day, look for things to education and improvement, and make it where you are influencing your health mentally, physically, and body.
Good.
Yes,
And I know
yes.
it's that time. We have our timekeeper. What that's
The time
all about.
goes by so quickly.
quick. So what time is it?
It's time to take another commercial break.
We got to pay our bills.
So we're going to go out on a commercial, and we'll see you back here at the Marlene Cox Show.
Okay.
You are watching The Marlene Cox Show.
Rita by Wallace and Posey. Seize the moment with Rita. Inhale the intimacy. Shop now. Go to our website at wallaceposey.com.
are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you. And we're back. You are watching The Marlene Cox Show. We're here for you, becoming you.
Oh, God, that was funny. Oh, boy, that was funny. Hey, welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show. You know, all kinds of stuff going on behind the scenes, you know. We were just having a little fun, But anyway, welcome back to the Marlene Cox Show. We're so excited to come back. You know, we've been talking about food, environment. We're going to move into a little bit about movement. Because body movement is so important.
Yes.
And there's different things that work with the body movement. But, you know, being an athlete, the age you are, your sex, your nutrition, your training, all has significant effects on your biomechanicals of movement, even from your genetics, from disease and history of prior injuries. All of that influences how persons move. Did I do something funny?
No.
What did I do? I must have did something funny.
No.
Move. The forces that they create and how materials in the body responds to loading. You know, what is in that loading? If you've had a knee replacement, it's a form of loading on putting weight
Loading?
on. Yeah, loading types of things. And some of the things that, and we're going to take into consideration too, because moving is important, but there are some people that have that problem with moving because of maybe a prior injury or maybe an illness, but there's things that we can do to keep the movement going. So the things that are important is for movement is time, effect, and flow. So that being said, Janet's going to talk to us a little bit about what's happening in 2024 when it comes to movement.
We've definitely come to the age of technology, and in regard to in regard to our high intensity interval training, whether it be online or you're a member where you can go live at any point in time and a coach is right there for you. Where you have wearable fitness technology. Marlene has one on today on her wrist.
Oh, yes.
And basically tracking however many steps she has, and her heart rate and her sleep pattern and more things like that. We have functional fitness, which is basically the movements. It tells how many times you've flexed and you've stretched yourself. We have mind-body practices. This is where we focus on our physical movement and our mental well-being, and our holistic approach to fitness and stress relief.
What do you mean by holistic approach?
Okay, so basically, in regard to mind-body therapy, we're able to have a true understanding of why that muscle hurts and what we can do as far as homegrown sources, lavender to calm us, things like that. We have recovery and regeneration for stretching. You should stretch 6 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and I can still touch my toes, and I'm getting up there.
I can touch my. Wait a minute now. I can touch my toes, girl.
Good job.
Now I can't kick as high as Mia. She was showing off the other day we were exercising. She went way up there.
I get drill team back in action.
Oh no, I can still touch my toes, but that's not because I did it yesterday. This has been part of my life since I've been in my 20s.
If you keep doing it,
Yeah.
you
Keep
can
doing
do
it, yes, absolutely.
Don't stop. Don't be a couch potato.
Yeah.
And we need to incorporate our technology in. Keep track in your journals. How many days a week you did work out, so you can set some goals and some standards. And don't forget, you can always reach out. We've got the internet now. So if you don't like that trainer, go get another one.
Or call us.
Or you can give us a call, and we'll give you guidance on the closest people for you, or online or whatever. We're always giving recommendations. And let me tell you, I hear about all those little things. So as a result, I can kind of guide you the right way, so that, we're not going to be taking any protein drinks or anything that we don't know what's in them.
Yeah. So yeah, all of that stuff is important.
This is something that I do along with all those things in my movement and walking and all the things that I like to do. Sometimes I just like to put on some music and just dance.
Just
Play it as
dance.
loud
I
as you
love
want.
to
Just
dance.
dance around the
Oh,
house.
she be doing it too.
Have a
Wait
good
minute. It
time.
really makes you. That girl can dance. I mean, she's a professional. When I watch her, I'm like, oh, she's smooth.
Yes,
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
my daughters and I will do that maybe sometimes after Sunday dinner, after we just turn on the music, we just dance,
party.
little Latin music,
Have your
little
own
whatever,
party. I love
it is.
Latin, yes.
And that also too. That's just it's a part of
And most
keeping your
people-
heart rate up, burning that fat. You know,
and
And people,
social.
Yes.
people sometimes think you guys have to have a regimen all the time. That's good. You work out at this time and you do that, but you do some fun stuff like just dance. Just walk them down the steps. Just Pilates. I mean, you don't have to have you just know that whatever your health needs are, if you need to work out 30 minutes a day, 45 minutes an hour, and you can break it down
Yes.
in 20-minute segments. You don't have to do it all at
And
one
you can
time.
support your local bands doing this, going out and
And
I mean,
dancing.
me and my girls are hitting the dance floor tonight. And
Yes.
I definitely know
Can you
who all the
dance?
bands are.
Can
Yeah.
you
I mean,
dance?
I was the other day. I was like, are there any dance clubs around anymore? I just want to go dance. I mean, I don't.
I love to go dance. I think dancing. I mean, I was grooving with Luther yesterday. I was grooving with Luther, just doing my little thing. Okay, Luther. Luther was doing his thing, but just movement.
Yes.
And if you can't, if you're at the stage where you have to sit. Stretch them legs. Kick out. To
They
the
have
side,
they have
punch,
yoga, chair
punch.
low
You can
yoga.
do
They
these
have
things,
yoga.
You have remember the little
That little thing, I got
bicycle
a
you
little
can sit
bicycle
and
downstairs.
just bicycle in your seat.
Yeah.
There's so many
Yeah.
technology, simple things you can do to stay active and keep your body
In movement.
in movement and limber. Am I silent?
I saw. We were doing walk away to pounds. Oh my gosh! I've been doing walk away to pounds since the '90s. I love those videos, and she's gonna kick way up like that. I said, "Oh, show off, okay." But Mia, give us some more things about that we can talk about. Some of the factors that influence your physical fitness and health and goals.
I think it's environment. I think it's access. Economically, I mean, but hey, it doesn't have to be. We're not saying you have to go get a $200 a month gym membership.
No.
You can get a pair of nice, good walking shoes and walk. Go on a hike. You can join the local YMCA to swim. There's so many ways that you can do this that doesn't have to prohibit you or be too much to the budget where you say, well, I can't afford to do that. It's cost too much money.
Well, one of the things I learned from the lady who does the walk away to pounds, she is so good. What's her name? I can't remember. Say her name
Leslie
so I can call her up
Sazone,
for
I think it is. And again, I was doing it with my mom, and she had the DVDs, and so I didn't have the DVD. We don't even have a DVD player anymore. But I was like, let me look and see if she's on the YouTube. I mean, there's a
Free.
YouTube channel I follow, and they give you different 30 minutes here or 15 minutes here of yoga, anything,
Yeah.
stretching. HIIT, high intensity workouts.
But something else that she says that's really good too, ladies. She was saying, like you said, buying all this exercise equipment and all, you don't have to do it. She says your body just knows its resistance.
Yes.
It could be 2 water bottles.
Yes.
That you got 2 water bottles that you drink water from. That's all your body. You can take a band because what your body is just realizing you're doing resistance against those muscles, and you don't have to build. Unless you want to be a muscle builder, you don't have to really be that intense. It can be anything that you can pick up and and do with that. So I love the walk away, and I'm really going to call her because I love the walk away the pounds because that system that she moves everything in your body.
Oh
when
yeah,
you're walking.
it's really nice.
Yeah.
My daughters have started doing it too. Walk.
Do your arm. Get. Okay.
They're enjoying it as well. So it's something else you can add to your routine.
Yeah.
And just take care of your core, like when you're lifting something really heavy at home, such as the dog food bag of 50 pounds, hold it close to your core when you're lifting it up and down. There's just be safe when you're working out. We want to make sure you don't get injured so that you can look hot next time someone sees you.
That is so true. How you do it. Yeah, because you don't have to years ago, I thought I had to beat up myself, be at the gym, weights, to getting all sweaty, which I can never sweat. I just get sticky. But you don't have to do that to be healthy. You
No.
just gotta move.
Just gotta move.
You just gotta move. Just gotta move.
Moving is just really, really key.
Yeah.
So, what else we got?
Okay, so I think
We got a few more seconds to, we get to, our tips and toodles.
So we have anything else that the writer wrote for us to talk about?
Well, there's something that I wanted to hit on that I was supposed to talk about, and that was, as we stated in our open, the secret of feeling your best and looking your best. And it's also not physically, it's mentally.
Yes.
Mentally, you got to take care of yourself. No is a complete sentence. Self-care is just real important to make time for yourself and doing things. If whatever that looks like to you, make sure you're doing that to make sure that, that mentally that you are staying balanced.
Yeah,
I affirmations, like mentors.
Yes.
There's a lot of ways to grow from the place you're at to where you want to be. Make sure you look out for the resources and things. To me, I have an affirmation book that I read once a day.
Yes.
That kind of keeps me on track.
Well, I do that.
Affirmations.
I'm a journal. I do that. I write a notebook, whatever I have around, I'm writing. But, what makes you feel good about you and me? Let's go back to that self-care. First of all, we have on our Maya Maya Collective. You need to join that Maya Collective because every Sunday we do have a self-care space there, and I'm actually our media person, social media, has been doing an excellent job with that self-care because all of this other stuff, food, do all that. If you don't self-care, it gets the whole. And then Janet said something earlier. Your environment, who's in your circle.
Absolutely.
Who's in your circle. That is so important. Who is in
Look
your
at your
circle.
5 closest friends and then look at your life.
Yeah, just look at
So we're going to have to get that time,
What is that? What is it?
It's
that time for
Tips and Toodles.
Okay, we are back. Just trying to make sure we bring you the best tips and toodles. And one of the things about this segment in the year going forward in 2024, we're going to be doing some live tips and toodles. We're going to have guests come on the show who's going to teach you different things when it comes to tips and toodles. We're going to do some out of the studio tips and toodles and bring it to you. So we're really working hard to bring you the best of the Marlene Cox Show. So look forward to that as the year goes on. And so I have one of the couple tips that I have today, and we have several of them down here. And whatever you feel you want to add to that. One of the things I want everyone to be aware of is your salt intake. And I was reading an article with the average American reads about 3,400 grams of salt a day. You're not, like Mia said earlier, you're not going to avoid because you're going to buy the frozen foods. You're going to buy all of that. You're going to go to the fast food places and you're going to do it. But what I'm saying is know your intake for your body mass, your height, your age, your health, what health you're in, and keep to that amount. I was at and I will not say the name, but this is one place I love, fast food that I really like. And it's one of the items that I always got. We'll discuss the item that I loved. That item was 1,900 grams of sodium. And for my height and my body, my age, I shouldn't have no more than 1,400 a day.
Wow.
The average person in the research that I did from the Health Journal is having like 33,000 to 3,400 grams of salt, and we should not have more than 2,000. So keep that in mind.
Yes.
Soak your food, and you can still eat the food that you want. Just check it off. I mean, I love soy, and I looked at 2 tablespoons of soy was 850 So I said, well, I stopped eating that. That's all my sodium for the day. You know, so anyway, that's my really tip, to watch your sodium. Who has to want to go with the next tip?
I will go. My tip for you is self-care. Self-care is not selfish. Take care of yourself, especially new moms out there. You know, I know you got hands in a lot of pots and things like that, but take care of yourself, so that if you're taking care of yourself, you can be stronger to take care of the ones that you love. And also, my other one is no. No, period. No is a complete sentence. I'm done. Thank you.
How about you, Janet?
I want to reach out to you guys and talk to you a little bit in regard to focusing on boosting your immunity. Okay, so basically, you know, be careful of your environment. If you're going to go to a concert, you might want to wear a mask, or might want to wash your hands like a few more times, and also be able to build up your immunity to certain things. You know, your cells change every 10 years. So if you're allergic to something now, you may not be allergic to it in 10 years from now, such as if you were not born with a seafood illness or things like that. I'm a product of that, so I couldn't eat seafood, anaphylactic shock to seafood, and now I can eat seafood again lots of years later. So make sure that you build your immune system and actually watch it and take care of it. Don't overeat any product in the foods that you eat. I was 5 times a week eating seafood, and I learned the hard way. So make sure you take care of yourself.
Oh, on that note, I will add, and Mia's going to tell us what our next week's show is. I just found out from my acupuncture, and I was reading on your herbs and different herbs and things, be on them 2 weeks and come off of them.
Yes.
He told me you gotta, because I'm, be on them 2 weeks and come off them. So things like that, just like you said, you were eating seafood too many times.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with your vitamins and your herbs and things. Get with your nutritionist, your health coach,
Your seasonings,
your health coach, and all of them, and try to grow your little garden on there with your
some fresh herbs. Like make a simple thing you can do with growing your own herbs is make pesto yourself. That's just such a simple thing, and you can put it on meats and poultry and salads, and that's the one thing you don't have to buy at the grocery store. You can make it, freeze it. That's another tip.
Okay,
I had 3 tips.
We did a lot of tips today. So what's going on next show?
Next week's show, we're going to be teaching our dollars some sense. Okay, money moves even when you don't want to. Okay, so that will be next week, teaching our dollars some sense. Our guru will come in and do that, and be talking some sense to you about your dollars. Okay.
I love what you said. Our money moves even if you don't want to. I love it. I don't know where he comes up with this.
But that will be our show next week.
And that's it. And then, as we close, remember, each day is a canvas. You are the master. You are the artist of your canvas. And every stroke of your brush that you stroke is an opportunity for you to make the decisions in your life for where you want to go. So remember, make this week, I don't like to say day. Sometimes you can say day, but I'm going to say make this whole week your masterpiece. And we'll see you back here next week on the Marlene Cox Show. And don't forget to go to Maya Models with the SON.com and let us know what you think of the show, what we can do better. Let us know about what interns that you would like to do. And if you would like to be a sponsor, you'd like to be a guest on our show, just go there to mayamodels.com for now. And then next into the year, we're going to have you go right to the Marlene Cox Show and let us know what we can do and what do you need? What are you searching for? Janet said to you, we have different resources for you. And I want you, this is your 3rd week into the New Year's, and I hope your New Year's is being everything that you want it to be. But you have to set those goals, and you have to be intentional, and you have to be balanced. We love you. See you next week at the Marlene Cox Show, WBGR TV. Go to Roku on Wednesdays to see us on that TV. And Thursdays, go to our, what do you call it? YouTube.
Yes.
The Marlene Cox Show. We love you. Thank you for your time. Spread the word. Please share. And we're looking forward to a blessed, prosperous, and wonderful New Year's. God bless you. See you, ladies. See everybody next week.
See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.